2003, AVweb came into possession of the most compelling still photograph our staff had ever seen. Clearly visible is Thunderbird pilot Chris Strickland as he ejects. The shot was so perfect, some on our staff at first thought it was a fake. But the event occurred September 14, 2003 at Mountain Home Air Force Base, Idaho, in front of an estimated crowd of 85,000. A report released in 2004 found that prior to the flight, Strickland had miscalculated the altitude for the split S maneuver, rolling inverted too early and robbing himself of a full 830 feet of recovery space. As the ground closed in, Strickland used maximum stick deflection and the jet did achieve a nose-up angle prior to impact, but it could not halt its descent. Strickland ejected just 140 feet above the ground, 0.8 of a second before impact. He sustained minor injuries, but the $20 million aircraft was lost. A large piece seen bounding across the ground may be the aircraft's single heaviest component, its engine. In this ultra-slow-motion footage, aerodynamically induced condensation streams illustrate the extreme forces exerted as Strickland fights to save the aircraft. His left hand becomes active, and as the canopy is blown back, his right hand finally leaves the side-mounted control stick to assure his arm is not broken or lost during ejection. 0.2 of a second later in real time, the onboard camera goes dead. Still images from the show line capture Strickland's chute opening as the aircraft impacts the ground and show the subsequent explosion. Aside from the aircraft, no damage was done to property, civilian or military. For his mistake, Strickland no longer flies with the Thunderbirds, but the event has resulted in procedural changes for the pilots who do. The investigative board found that Thunderbirds require its pilots to convert mean sea level and above ground level altitudes and then perform the maneuver with a limited margin of error. Those tasks were found to be contributing factors in this accident. For his final maneuver as a Thunderbirds pilot, Strickland had calculated and flown to 1,670 feet above ground at Mountain Home, but he had used the wrong airport altitude. The proper calculation would have directed him to an altitude of 2,500 feet above the base. Even before he left the ground, the accident sequence had begun, and once Strickland started his pull, the outcome was all but sealed. Staff Sergeant Benny J. Davis III, still photographer, U.S. Air Force, was stationed on the tower's catwalk to photograph the performance. He said he waited for the aircraft to level and clicked the shutter. The result is an image that captures the pivotal moment in one man's life, and it's stunningly real. As a result of this accident, the Air Force required the Thunderbird pilots to climb an extra 1,000 feet before starting the split S maneuver. For them, the show must go on.